Hey, it's Ben here from the Strength Factory, and today I'm going to remind you that you can't buy performance. Maybe I'm getting old and grumpy, but it seems to me like these days people aren't really willing to put in the work. They're not willing to grind out the hours to get where they want to be. They see it on Instagram and YouTube and whatever, and they see the ballers riding around in the big cars or with the big legs or the big watts, and they want to be like that tomorrow. And for a lot of people, the answer they go to is to throw money at the problem, okay? Especially for the middle-aged mountain biker, okay? A lot of whom watch these videos. I'm not saying it's you, because if you watch my videos, then chances are you're training. But I'm still gonna go through this and just tell you a few of my thoughts. And the way I'm gonna do it is I'm gonna tell you some stories. Right then, grab yourselves a hot cup of cocoa and get yourself comfy with Uncle Ben, because I'm gonna tell you a story. This story is about a rider called Ricky. He's in his 40s, he used to be quite fit, but not so much anymore. The dad bod has been coming on, he's getting a bit rounder, and on his weekly or sometimes bi-weekly ride, he's finding it harder and harder to keep up with the group. And it's meaning he's enjoying his rides less, and sometimes he doesn't even want to go. So, what does Ricky do about it? Well, he's been on Pink Bike, and he's seen on Instagram, there's these sick new carbon wheels that are 200 grams lighter, and everyone knows that rotational mass is what matters. And he's gonna go and drop $1.5 grand of his hard-earned cash, his children's inheritance, on these carbon wheels to solve all of his problems. That first ride with the new wheels, there's no doubt, these wheels are fast, Ricky. And he is keeping up with the group. He can feel that extra acceleration when he stands on the pedals because rotational mass, Pink Bike told him, is the key. And there he is, he's enjoying his riding again. But now, let's fast forward maybe a month, maybe 6 weeks, maybe 8 weeks, or maybe more. And every ride he's done in that period on the new wheels, he's been keeping up with the group, but how's he keeping up? He's actually putting in a little less work every time. He's having to do less watts and less work to keep up. And so what's happening? He's actually getting detrained. And now we get to the point 6 or whatever weeks down the line where he's struggling to keep up with the group again, because Ricky tried to solve his performance issue by spending money, when what he needed to do was improve his legs, his heart, his lungs and his blood, so that he'd be able to keep up by being fitter and stronger on the pedals. Ricky couldn't buy performance. On the subject of training programs, you should definitely take a moment to check out the Over 40s Mountain Bike Programme. I launched it last year on the Downtime podcast, and since then it's been used, and it is being used by literally hundreds of middle-aged mountain bikers all around the world, including people using it to get ready to race the EWS 100 in Scotland last week, to go riding with their mates, to go on a big trip to the mountains, or just to feel better in everyday life and improve your riding. So you can't go wrong with that. It's 20 weeks long, it's delivered by an app, and it all covered by my money back guarantee, that if you're not satisfied, you get your money back. It's as simple as that. Let me introduce you to rider number 2. It's Alan. And Alan is having a nightmare with front end grip. He keeps washing the front and crashing in turns. It's ruining his confidence, and no matter what he does with his tyre pressure, the clickers on the fork, his air pressure and volume spacers, he just can't get the front end to grip, and he's really losing confidence on his bike, and it's spoiling his enjoyment, and before long he's going to be breaking a collarbone the way he's going now. So what does Alan do? Well, he goes on his phone. Look, oh, I can get the top of the line factory fork, or I can go to the tuning centre and get a special custom shim stack tuned just for my body weight and riding style. And off he goes, he gets that, drops a whole load of cash. Next week, vroom, front end goes bang, Alan is the accident emergency, he's broken his collarbone. Because, why is that? He's trying to buy performance when all he needed to do was go and get some skills coaching, okay? Alan rides like this, with his arms straight, his knees bent, all the weight's on the back wheel, there's no weight on the front wheel. So his suspension's never gonna work properly, no matter how fancy it is. Alan tried to buy performance when all he needed to do was, make sure his fork is serviced, but what he needed to do was appreciate what was going wrong with his riding position and do something about it, which would be to get some skills coaching and then apply what he's learned to get in a good riding position on the bike. And then Alan wouldn't have a broken collarbone. If you want more in-depth training and riding insights, analysis and tips, then make sure you like and subscribe. So it's a bit random how I've gone about doing this with those two stories, but I thought it was quite fun, and hopefully it's painted a picture, okay? And I'm not trying to be like judgmental or anything. Ultimately, do what you want, spend your money on what you want. And whenever I've talked about this before, because I have mentioned it on Instagram before, someone always goes, oh, but you can buy your training program, Ben. And yes, you can buy my training programs, and in fact, you should buy my training programs. But guess what? Buying them doesn't make you fitter and stronger. Actually, consistently doing them makes you fitter and stronger. Because I guarantee there's a load of people who've bought my programs over the year, and despite my best efforts, they just sat there in the inbox or sat there on the app untouched, just like all those January gym memberships. It's the same with skills coaching. It's all very well, taking heed of Alan and getting a skills session, go for a morning with a great coach, awesome. Make some improvements on the day, but then after that you give it no thought, you just carry on riding the way you always did, and you slip back into old habits. That's just trying to buy performance. You need to work at it, okay? Like anything, the more you put in, the more you get out. So after that skill session, you now need to ride very deliberately, really focusing on most of your rides for the next 4, 6, 8 weeks, for the whole summer, to make those new, better habits stick. Otherwise, you're gonna be back to square one, and you spent the money, and you know better on your bike, and you're not enjoying it anymore. So there you go. A really, hopefully kind of clear, kind of fun thing, where it's a bit of a bee in my bonnet, I guess. People just trying to buy performance. You can't. You need to, turn up. You need to go to the gym. You need to ride your bike. You need to work on your skills. And throwing money in it is probably not going to help.